Let's start by talking about writing standards. Most writing standards in instructional design are based on a style guide such as the Chicago Manual of Style, the MLA Handbook, or the APA Style Guide. You can then build upon one of the general style guides and adopt standards for different design components in your online course as part of your brand. Here are some examples of the types of things you may want to include in your online course writing standards. Bulleted and numbered lists. How will you structure list items? Will there be punctuation included? Will you capitalize the first letter of each bulleted item? Capitalization. What types of words will you capitalize? Will you capitalize the first word in bulleted or numbered lists? Abbreviations. What are acceptable abbreviations that you will use? Will you use abbreviations for example, such as E.G, or that is I.E, and so on? Acronyms. If you do have acronyms in your course content, how will you handle them? Will you only spell out the acronym once in each lesson? Will you use a glossary? Punctuation. This one is pretty obvious, but you have to remain consistent with whatever you choose to do. When will you use bolding, colons, hyphens, /, quotations, commas, parentheses, and the list goes on. So you can see that there are many aspects of the actual writing of your course content that you will need to standardize. Otherwise, you may, on one slide, write a bulleted list with semicolons at the end of each bulleted item, and then on another slide, forget you did that and leave the semicolons out. This will cause your courses to look somewhat unprofessional, especially to someone who is detail-oriented. Now I'm going to teach you about how you can develop design standards for your e-courses. This topic has many possibilities, but we will go over some of the common guidelines in order to get you started in the right direction. Creating design standards is a very vast topic that depends a lot on the requirements of your audience and the authoring tool you will be using to create your online course. However, there are some common design standards that I would like to show you that you may be able to incorporate into your e-courses starting today. First of all, think about how you will introduce and end a lesson. Will you include learning objectives? I would highly recommend you start with some objectives about what the learner can expect to learn in each lesson. Color scheme is another important design standard. What colors will you use throughout all your courses? Consistency is key here, and if you are starting a business, it would be a good idea to use your business branding colors in your online courses. Instructional or directive text is especially important if you are designing self-paced online courses. If, however, it is more of a video lecture course, you may only need directive text on screen if you want your learner to click on a hyperlink to navigate to a specific web address, for example. Interactivity is important for engaging your audience in your course. How will you do this? Will you use videos, animations, games, and the list goes on. Navigation. Navigation basically means how will your learner navigate through your slides. Are there buttons they should be aware of to access the menu or a glossary? Will they just use the next and back buttons to go forward and backward or return to content to review? Assessments. Assessments are important to help the learner solidify what you are trying to teach them. These may be in the form of quizzes that you scatter throughout your online course, more like knowledge checks. Or you could include actual tests or exams at the end of your course that your learner must pass in order to receive a certificate. It is up to you what the aim of your course is and how you want to structure your assessments. So now that we have talked about some guidelines and examples surrounding writing and design standards, I have some freebies for you. To help you out, I've created a writing and design standards document, as well as a blank template so you can start to create your own standards. I use these standards in my own online course designs, so I hope they are useful for you as well. Just click on the links below this video to download the files. So now it's time for another knowledge check question, and then I'll summarize this lesson.